Good morning, Flagler County, and welcome to Veterans on Point, a WNZF radio show developed in mind for our county's beloved and respected veterans population and anyone else listening via internet or podcast. I'm your host, David Lydon, a Flagler County Veteran Services Officer, and I am not here with my colleague at the office, Eric, and we do not have any guests today, so it's just you and me. Excuse me. You and me, and I've got some information for you that's and so this is an informational show and educational, I hope, as well. But Eric and I are the Flagler County Veteran Services Officers. We're at 1769 East Moody Boulevard in Bunnell. Our phone number is 386-313-4014. We are there to help our county residents, veterans, their any surviving spouses, and other family members who may be subject to receiving VA benefits. We're there to help with that. We're there to help with other things as well. As you know, a lot of times there's military strings, ID cards, retirement paperwork. We help with those things as well. A lot's coming up with logging into government websites, specifically VA.gov, and with that, some folks need help with getting into the system or registering in the system. One of the big problems is with the login.gov is uploading your driver's license picture. We found that to be problematic, but through trial and error, we've come up with ways to make it work. But I do get a lot of feedback from veterans, and they are having problems with that too. Some of them give up. Some find alternate ways to get in. I was talking with a veteran yesterday, and every time he goes to log in, he calls their helpline and gets a PIN number or something similar to log in. Well, if you're experiencing that, we encourage you to give us a call. We'll help you get into the system. So you don't need to make calls every time you want to log into something. So you just put in your password and your PIN, or your username and your password. So we can help with that. So we're there for a lot of reasons. Again, if you need to see us, please call for an appointment. And again, that's 386-313-4014. Our hours are generally 8 in the morning until 5 o'clock at night, with an hour typically for lunchtime from noon to 1. This week, our Star Spangled Banner, which we include at the end of each program, is, I hope my producer got it. I sent it to him. Yep, he's saying yes. So it's a 100-year-old U.S. Marine Corps Iwo Jima survivor named Don Graves. And it looks like it's a video as well. You won't see the video on here, but if you go to YouTube, you can find it. And it's at a NASCAR event. So apparently he's done that a couple times, because they say he's returned to sing. So stick around for the 100-year-old United States Marine Corps Iwo Jima survivor, Don Graves, singing the Star Spangled Banner. For those of you who would like to submit a veteran that you love as a Veteran of the Week in the Palm Coast Observer, we encourage you to send a photograph and some bio information to Brent Warrenoff and you can use his email to send that information. His email is Brent, BRENT, at observerlocalnews.com. So that could be a husband, it could be a spouse, a wife, it could be a friend, a colleague, a neighbor, a brother, a sister. Recognize your veterans. This is a big military and veteran related month here in May, and so send something to Brent Warrenoff. All right, so let's talk about our legal loyal listeners. Let's welcome to the program, of course, Billy Jones and his wife Jo, his wonderful wife Jo. Thank you for always listening and providing feedback for so many years now. And, of course, Navy Master Chief Dan and his wife Kay up there at the Sancerre Assisted Living Facility. Our Marine pal, Jeff Kingdon, naturally, who, as you know, is our Flagler County Veteran of the Year. He's also the Flagler County Veterans Advisory Council Chair, and he is the producer of thousands of wooden plaques that are all over Flagler County, St. John's now, Volusia. Now he's spreading out to into Orlando. A lot of there's some Tuskegee Airmen that are still remaining, and some of their uh, their family are asking Jeff to do the plaques, and he really likes doing them for World War II veterans. And we just this past weekend, Jeff, myself, and Billy Jones went to the home of Anthony Stampone, who is a World War II veteran, and Jeff presented him with a plaque. He was very appreciative, and we thank Anthony and Hannah for having us come into the home and be able to do that. So um, Jeff loves recognizing World War II vets. His dad was a World War II vet, so it's something that he really appreciates doing. So if you have a World War II vet that you know that Jeff hasn't made a plaque for, you can give us a call at 386-313-4014. We'll share that information with Jeff. I guess he's got a number of them that are in, he found out now, that are in the Orlando area, so he's going to be making some trips out there to do that. So, Jeff, thanks for all you do. And Jeff really, we've talked about on this show about having a purpose. And Jeff has always had a purpose, but he's really taken this on as his purpose, and so he sticks to it. Thanks, Jeff. Who else? We got Tom. Talking Tom. Tom's got a purpose too. Tom's still very integral in the veterans community. Tom Piekarski. Charlie Hanger, he's another man with a purpose, and his wife Jenny. They're out there taking care of vets, raising funds, and through Brave Aid and helping veterans. And of course, we've got Valerie and her husband, or who's a veteran. Listen to the show. Dennis is listening always. He checked on me a couple weeks ago when I didn't mention him. So Dennis, I know you're listening. Thanks. We got Sharon and Bill and Shane and Norman and Howard and his wife Valerie and William and Holly and Keith and Jim and Stephen and James and David and Mrs. Martin. James, the male maid, I can never forget him. We've got Frankie Jr. and his dad Frank, and we've got Rudolph and Thomas and Leon, Don, Delmer, Michael. A lot of Jameses. Bicycle Frank, who you met here on the program a couple weeks ago. Mr. Holt, the Gallaghers, and Bill. And everybody else who's listening to the program, we thank you for being out there. Let us know if you're listening. Give us a call. Again, 386-313-4014. Got to let you know, remind you that Massage by Natalie sponsors the podcast on WNZF. That's Massage by Natalie and Company. Her phone number is 386-227-7499. You can find them at 4871 Palm Coast Parkway Northwest, of course, in Palm Coast, Suite number 1. All right, we're on our 11th week of profiling a U.S. president. We've been going in order, and this week is James K. Polk, the 11th President of the United States and Commander-in-Chief. He served from 1845 to 1849. He is often overshadowed by more prominent figures, yet his presidency and life are filled with intriguing and lesser-known facts that highlight his complexity and impact. Known as the dark horse candidate, Polk was an unexpected nominee for the Democratic Party in 1844, emerging after a contentious convention where he wasn't even a leading contender. His nickname, Young Hickory, reflected his assignment with Andrew Jackson's his alignment with Andrew Jackson's policies. But Polk carved his own path with a fierce commitment to manifest destiny. One surprising fact is that Polk was the first president to have his photograph taken while in office. It captured his stern demeanor. Despite his reserved nature, he was a workaholic, often laboring late into the night, which likely contributed to his frail health and death just 3 months after leaving office at the age of 53, making him the shortest-lived president of the 19th century. Polk's president achieved an ambitious agenda, including the annexation of Texas, the Oregon Territory Settlement, and the Mexican-American War, which added vast territories like California and New Mexico to the U.S. However, a little known detail is that Polk personally kept a diary during his term, offering candid insights into his thoughts on politics and colleagues, revealing a man both calculating and deeply introspective. Another obscure fact is his surgical history. As a teenager, Polk underwent a risky procedure to remove urinary stones without anesthesia, using only brandy as a sedative, a testament to his resilience, but also a possible cause of his later childlessness. His wife, Sarah Childress Polk, was a formidable partner, serving as his political confidant and managing the White House with a ban on dancing and alcohol due to their strict Presbyterian beliefs, earning it the nickname the Puritan Court. Polk's foreign policy wasn't without quirks. He once sent a secret agent, Moses Beach, a newspaper editor, to Mexico to negotiate peace during the war, an unconventional diplomatic move that failed. Additionally, Polk was the first president to oversee the issuance of postage stamps, a mundane but transformative step in communication. Despite his accomplishments, he remains underappreciated, partly because he vowed to serve only one term and stuck to it, avoiding the limelight. His frugality was legendary. Polk refused to accept gifts or use public funds for personal expenses, a stark contrast to later political norms. These facts paint a portrait of a driven, principled, yet enigmatic leader whose brief but impactful tenure shaped the nation's borders and identity. And our quote of the week is from President Polk as well, and this is on national leadership. Although in our country the chief magistrate must almost of necessity be chosen by a party and stand pledged to its principles and measures, yet in his official action he should not be president of a party only, but to all of the people of the United States. And that was in his inaugural address, March 4th, 1845. All right, as I mentioned earlier, this May, of course, is filled with veterans events and military events, to include its Armed Forces Week, the 12th through the 17th of May, which is coming right up. Armed Forces Day is May 17th. Memorial Day, of course, is May 26th. And speaking of Memorial Day, there will be ceremonies, which I hope folks will get out to, and to remember our fallen military members who gave of their lives so that we may live as free Americans in a very prosperous country for so long now. And we still have a strong military, armed forces. Of course, Armed Forces Day is going to recognize that, where our armed forces are preserving our way of life. So please consider going out on Memorial Day and through this month and recognizing your veterans and military. But on May 26th, that's Memorial Day, there will be a ceremony at 8 o'clock at Heroes Park. That's the City of Palm Coast ceremony. At 10 o'clock in front of the Government Services Building will be the Flagler County Memorial Day ceremony. And the guest speaker there will be Captain Mark Schreiber, United States Navy chaplain, retired. And, of course, we'll have Vince Cautero rounding out the ceremony with God Bless the USA. And we will be recognizing the veterans who we know about who passed away in Flagler County since last Memorial Day, as we read their names and ring the bell in their honor. So please come out, share that event with us. This is also the time of the program where I say, drivers, drivers, drivers. The DAV is seeking volunteer drivers to take veterans from their homes to their VA appointments. Now, those VA appointments can be compensation and pension examinations that are related to service-connected disability claims. They can be your regular VA appointment at a VA clinic or a VA medical center. Those VA medical centers in our area, you could either, Flagler County veterans can either go to Orlando, or they can go to Gainesville. And the St. Augustine community-based outpatient clinic is in St. Augustine. That's affiliated with the Gainesville location. And the Daytona Beach VA clinic, of course, in Daytona Beach is affiliated with the Orlando clinic. So they can take you to those appointments, and they can also take you to your community care network appointments that have been set up by the VA. So if you remember, if you listen to the program, if you are in the VA healthcare system and when you try to get scheduled for an appointment, if it's for a primary care appointment, they can't get you in within 20 days, then you can request to be sent out into the community. Typically, you can get into your primary care appointments in a reasonable time. If you need a specialty appointment, cardiology, oncology, dermatology, and they can't get you in, even audiology, they can't get you in within 60 days, you can, under the Mission Act, by law, you can request to be referred out into the community and through a network of physicians and that are in the VA's network. There's plenty of them in the network. So if that happens, and it's happened to me, it's happened to plenty of veterans that I help. I went for an audiology, request an appointment for audiology, and it was November, and they told me March. I said, well, that's not acceptable, and under the Community Care Act or the Mission Act, I'm entitled to community care. So I was able to get in the first part of January, which was much shorter, obviously, and that worked out well. So take, if you are in the VA and you get scheduled, or they try to schedule over 60 days away, then just let them know that you're aware of the Mission Act and that you request a community care network. And again, going back to why we're originally talking about this, is the DAV can take you to those appointments, even though it might be an Advent hospital or some other local medical clinic. The DAV can take you there so long as the VA scheduled it. Okay? All right, so what else? So here's an observation of the week. Maybe a little bit of current events. So if generally speaking, and most veterans will attest to this, if you hear a veteran boasting about their accomplishments or their heroics or grand things that they did, or the number of enemy that they killed, whatever it might be, take it with a grain of salt. Most veterans know that the most humblest people who have Bronze Star with a V for Valor device, have a Silver Star, Navy Cross, or something similar like that, Medal of Honor, you would find it most of the time those people do not brag, boast, talk about those situations. They're very humble. They're very private about it. So if you hear people talking loud about their grand achievements or accomplishments or activities while serving the U.S. military, and it's out of context, be wary of it. Just take note that it's probably fiction. That's generally speaking. Okay, so I've talked to thousands of veterans. I've been in law enforcement, talked with thousands of people about different things throughout my life, and I just find it to be also true. You can talk to a lot of veterans who know it to be true, and not to say anything negative about a VFW or an American Legion bar, but a lot of those stories pop up in bars, and I don't want to blame just bars, but I've been at yard sales where those conversations about what veterans did in the military come up, and you can just tell when it's an outlandish story. So I just walk away generally. But when it's in the context of the public, then it should be examined. So let's just leave that there, and moving right along. What I want to talk about this week. Let me see how much time we got. All right. So this week's topic, we're going to talk about veteran readiness and employment. It's called VR&E with the VA. It's a program that is to help veterans retrain, get retrained in a different field. Could be in tech, cybersecurity, renewable energy sectors. But VR&E is to help veterans who have a disability, even if it's a well, we'll go over that. But even if it's at least 10%, you can apply for this program. And it's to help you if you're looking to transition into a new career. The VA can help with funding that. So it's a powerful program to help veterans with service-connected disabilities find meaningful careers and live more independently. The Veterans Readiness and Employment Program, or VR&E, also known as Chapter 31, is a Department of Veterans Affairs initiative, and they call it a game changer for transitioning veterans. And I don't mean transitioning in the way it comes up a lot today, but in transitioning from the military to civilian life. So let's break it down. So what is VR&E? Simply put, it is a VA program designed to help veterans with service-connected disabilities overcome employment barriers. Whether you're looking to re-enter the workforce, pivot to a new career, start your own business, or even enhance your independence at home, VR&E has your back. It's not just about jobs. It's about building a future that fits your skills, interests, and abilities. And with recent updates in 2025, the program is more accessible than ever. To qualify, you typically need a VA disability rating of at least 10% and an employment handicap, meaning your disability makes it tough to find or keep a job. If your rating is below 20% or you're past the 12-year eligibility window, you'll need to show a serious employment handicap. But don't worry, VR&E counselors are there to guide you through this process. Active duty service members can also apply if they're in the Integrated Disability Evaluation System or awaiting discharge due to a service-related injury. The program is designed to help with reemployment, rapid access to employment, self-employment, employment through long-term services, independent living services for veterans whose disabilities make work challenging. This track focuses on improving quality of life with home modifications, like wheelchair ramps and other support. One of the standout features of VR&E is its personalized approach. You'll work one-on-one with a veteran readiness counselor to create a rehabilitation plan tailored to your goals. They'll assess your skills, interests, and needs, then connect you with services like job training, resume workshops, or even college tuition assistance. And here's the big perk. While you're in training, you may qualify for a monthly subsistence allowance up to $3,355 for a veteran while with multiple dependents as of October 2024. You're also eligible for the post 9/11 GI Bill. You can opt for a housing allowance instead based on your training location. That's a real financial support to help you focus on your future. Applying is straightforward. You can start online at VA.gov by filling out a VA Form 28-1900 or visit a VA regional office or work with a veteran service organization for free assistance. After applying, you'll meet with a counselor to evaluate your eligibility and kickstart your plan. The VA's website, benefits.va.gov, has all the details, including 2025 subsistence rates and eligibility criteria. And here's a pro tip. Don't wait for a disability rating to explore your options. Service members can apply up to 180 days before leaving active duty through the Benefits Delivery at Discharge program. So check out the VR&E if you're a transitioning veteran. Maybe get a leg up on a new career. All right, I've been given the signal that we are now under the 2-minute warning. It's been a pleasure to be with you this weekend. And again, watch us on YouTube. Follow us. I guess there's some clips on Facebook I've seen. And, I got to always let you know that no country, no state, no community does more for veterans than the United States of America, the great and free state of Florida, the wonderful Flagler County, the lovely city of Palm Coast, and all of our beautiful beach cities here. I ask you to be a victor, not a victim. Be educated, not indoctrinated. And most importantly, be kind to someone today, or many someones. All right, so it's back to work for me. We do record on Wednesdays. I'm heading back to the office to take care of some more veterans. If you need our help, Flagler County Veterans Services, 386-313-4014. Eric will be back with us next weekend. Take care. God bless.